What's good, people? Welcome back. Now, before we get into this video, I can't lie. I'm looking all kinds of crusty, rusty, and dusty. I'm gonna go give myself a trim. Got my clippers in hand.
A few moments later.
So, a few things have changed. Obviously, I'm my dressing gown now. It's trimmed up. But this video is taking place a couple days later. Had my birthday yesterday. Didn't do too much, but it was a decent day. Just chilling. Just getting myself focused for the year ahead. Last year till I'm 30, but not real pressure out here. Just gonna make it. So yeah, let's get back into the video. It was last year March. I'm gonna try and throw in some videos as well. I went on holiday. I needed a break. A few things were going on in my personal life. So a month in advance, I booked the holiday. So in February, I just looked online and I picked a destination, and I just said, yeah, I'm going. I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna use this opportunity to try and get in a funded account. What is a funded account? So what you have to do, you have to pay for these funded accounts, um, depending on the amount of capital you want. So if you want a 100K account, you'd pay more than if you wanted like a 20K account, for example. At the time, I went and I bought three 200K accounts. I believed in myself that much. So I bought three 200K accounts. And to pass the stages, what you have to do is on stage one, you have to make 8% on the account. So I had 200K an account and I had to make 16K. And for phase two, you have to make 5%. So on a 200K account, you can make 10K. Cool. Once you pass both phases, as I said, you go live, and now you have 200K worth of capital to trade with. So the reason why you want to get these accounts or is if you don't have capital, you want to be able to trade higher amounts so you can risk less and have the potential to make more. So, for example, if I'm risking 1% on a £1,000 account, I'm only risking £10 to get £10 back at a 1-to-1. If I'm risking 1% on a 200K account, I'm risking 1% at 2 grand. And if I hit a 1-to-1, I get 2 grand. So it makes more sense. The cost of these accounts, they're reasonable for what you can get out of them. So for a 200K account, it was roughly about £700 at the time, I think, once you converted it. As I said, you have the opportunity to, once you're live, to take home 75% of your profits. I think in the first month, in the second month it's 80%, and then in the third month it's 85%. So whilst on holiday, I can't lie, I was trading every single day. I don't think I really even left the hotel room, to be honest with you. I think only on the weekend, because the markets aren't open on the weekend, before I flew back is when I ended up leaving the hotel room to see a bit of the country I went to. I believe it was Cyprus. I went to Lanka, and yeah, solo dolo, no distractions, just me and the charts. Pretty nice room as well. So I'm glad that I booked a nice room because I spent most, not if not all my time, pretty much there. But it was good. It was good. It was nice and peaceful as well. I think it was the perfect setting for me to do it. But anyway, within the week, I passed phase one. So within a week, I made 8% on all three 200K accounts. It was, which is totals to roughly, no, it totals to 48K. So I made 48K within a week on the first phase, which is a demo account, bear in mind. But there was still, my money was still at risk because I had bought three 200K accounts. So that was 700, 700, 700. So at that point in time, I put up £2,000 of my own money. Still not something to be laughed at, but it was a risk I was willing to take. So I passed phase one on those within a week. My holiday came to an end. I came back, passed phase two on two of the accounts Following week, I was like, this is easy. I'm about to have bread on bread on bread. So, in a sense, I said to myself, all right, cool. 48K last week plus 20K this week. I've just made 78. To me, sorry, I just made 68K. I failed one challenge at the second stage only because I was being impatient. I was rushing. I was just trying to get it out of the way, basically. It was good, man. I felt sick. I started telling my mom, I was like, yo, mom, we're about to make it out of the hoods. You don't even know. It's gonna be great. Um, what else? Start telling my friends. Obviously, some of them were already on the trading journey with me, so they were trading as well, and they were rooting for me. They were like, "Yo, Rakari, you can do this. You can do this. Like, you're gonna make it. I make sure you save me a 5 grand." I was like, "Bro, if I make this and I have unlimited bread, you man don't have to worry. Like, we're all making it out. We're all making it out." So yeah, started making plans for the money. And then I sat down and thought to myself, all right, cool. I said, what do I really need to do here? I said, all right, cool. Let me try and make 50 or 60K. Because if I make 50 or 60K, that's a 1 year's salary. You know what I'm saying? So I can live ahead 1 year and just have everything paid for in advance and I don't have to worry. So that was my goal. Fortunately, what I tried to do was make that all in one day. Now, if it's not that it's impossible, but it's not when you're trying to force it, it won't happen. Like you can't force your will onto the markets, and that's something I learned very, very quickly. Um, so with that in mind, I can't lie, I was excited once I went live. I was going slow at first, but the slow pace wasn't enough for me. So on one account, I had ended up making 1,500, and then on the second account, I ended up making 2,500. So in total, I was up 4 grand. I could have taken home 3 grand, and what they would have taken one on the first month. Plus, I was still getting paid my salary, my wages. So it's not like I was missing out on anything by taking my time and just letting that money come out. Couldn't do that. Nah, could not do that. I couldn't wait. I was like, I'm getting 50 grand today. So on a random day, I don't know what happened. I just got gassed. I said to myself, I'm putting 40 lots on gold. So if you don't know what a lot size is, it's the amount of risk you're taking per trade. 40 lots is a lot. It's basically equivalent to like every movement in the market, with every small movement in the market, I was risking basically 400 per per movement. Now, when you say that on gold, especially, everyone that's a trader knows that is crazy because gold is volatile. Gold will move um 10 pips like that in a second, literally in a second. So if you do 400 times 10, it's 4 grand. So in a second, I can be up in 4 grand or I can be down 4 grand. And let me tell you now, on that first trade, on that first account, when I decided to do it, I went down 8 grand in a second. It wasn't long. And I was trading without a stop loss at this point. So I was on my phone. I remember the time I was on my phone. At this point, I was still doing a job where I was driving a van. So I had placed the trade whilst I was driving. I was driving, looking at my phone, driving, looking at the phone, driving, looking at the phone. And when it got to close to my daily loss limit, because on these accounts, you can't just lose the whole 200K. You can only lose um, a maximum of 12% of the account, and you have a daily loss limit of 5%. So I had a loss limit of 10 grand on that day. And I had lost, I think, about 8, maybe 9. I don't know, because I was at the time I was pushing it to the right. I was like, oh, this could go in my favor in the end. This could still go in my favor. I ended up closing out. Probably I'll try and find the footage if I have it. If I don't have it, I won't add it. But yeah, I ended up going close to my daily loss limit. I didn't lose my account that day, but I did end up losing it eventually. Which is basically the catalyst of that. So after this day, anyway, I closed the trade and I was down on one account. But I said to myself, I've still got another account and I think gold is going up. I bought gold again on my other account. Do you know what happened? I made 14 bags. 14K. Called all my boys. I was like, yo, I just hit the belly. I got 14K coming out of this account. They were like, what? Nah, you're a madman, Macquarie. Why? How did you do that? I said, 40 lots on gold. I was so hyped up in this van drive. I was about to quit my job then and there. I was like, yeah. But I couldn't stop. At that point there, I could not stop. Um, yeah, it was a bit of a madness still. I still remember to that day like it was yesterday. I still, right now, I wish I didn't overtrade that day or didn't continue to trade. I just let that money come out because it would have set up my year differently last year. It would have been a lot different if I let that 14 grand come out or the 75% of it. I think that was roughly about 8 grand after it got converted as well. So it was like 75% and then it's in dollars. So then once it gets converted, it's about 8 grand. But yeah, man. If I had chilled, if I had actually chilled and just grabbed that, yeah, that would have been a good month because I was still getting paid as well. So it would have been 8 grand plus the money from my salary. I would have been up. But anyway, um, after doing that, I couldn't chill. I wanted to make 50 grand or I wanted to make my year salary that month. Plus, I was seeing that there was a lot of people in these communities, in these traders communities on YouTube showing like bigger withdrawals than the 14K, and I wanted to be one of the biggest. You know, when you have the view of, I've done this, so I'm the best. So I think a few weeks later, I was trying to chill for a bit. A few weeks later, I came back. I tried to do the exact same thing again, except this time it just went all the way down. It went left. So I did 40 lots on gold again. Account gone. No withdrawal, no funds, no nothing. I didn't get any money out of it. So I had essentially just lost £2,100. And the maddest thing is, if I had chilled, I get my refund back. Once you pass and you make it to your first payday, you get your refund back. So I would have had £700 on that account plus the money that was coming out plus the split of that plus my wages for the month. I would have been that month would have been a nice month for me. And I know it's not a month by month thing, but if I had maybe I feel like if I had just waited and let that money come out, I could have um, done something else. I could have went back and bought another two accounts past those, and do you know what I'm saying? It would have just set me up nicely. But I was just so in my feelings at the time about trying to get to that 50K number, putting a target on it that I couldn't chill. So I ended up losing that account, and I think I probably did the 40 lots on the gold again, and I ended up losing that. And I was just distraught for the next month. I didn't want to trade, didn't want to look at the charts. I just felt like a failure. I was like, well, all those things that I've learned about using your psychology wisely, not being greedy, staying consistent with your plan, because this was trading totally outside my plan at the time. I had set up rules. I had a set of rules that I was supposed to follow whilst trading. They completely went out the window once I went live. I was just like, yo, let me get this money as quick as possible, especially because I had already made 48K on the first phase and then another 20 on the second phase. So in total, that was 68K. And I was thinking to myself, I should have some of that. I should have all of that right now, but I don't because I was trading demo essentially um, up until this point. But yeah. They were a couple of mistakes, and they weren't the last ones of the accounts that I've lost. By the way, I've lost a couple more after that because yeah, just greed. I'll get into that another time, but I'll get into that another time. But those accounts were the ones that hit me the most because I had a guaranteed 14K profit split coming out to my account, and I had a lot of fun in there. But it just went to prove that when I was following my plan, I could pass the challenges and I could make money. So I think so on one hand, it helped me, but on another hand, it made me feel like a complete donut. And I should feel like a donut because I had so much money to make and had nothing to lose. Well, at that point, I had nothing to lose. It was all profit at that point. Um, but yeah, going forward, I've already started this year, this trading year. I've started on a positive, made £1,000 off of £1,000. So I deposited £1,000 on the 24th of January. Within a week, I made £1,000, and the plan now is to put that £1,000 into a funded account. So I haven't been trading over the last couple of days because that's the plan. End of January, putting that £1,000 that I've made into a funded account. I don't know what size I'm gonna get yet. I could get 100K, I could get 50K, I could get another 200K and try to reenact last year. But I'm taking it slow this year, so I'll see which account I decide to take. But at the end of the month, I'm gonna grab a funded account, and I am going to see what I can do. And I've got a plan. I've got my trading plan all set out. My psychology is right. And I feel like this year is going to be a good year for me. So why not do it this year? Why not do it now? Especially with profits. So that is the plan. You're going to see very soon that I'm going to have a funded account. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to record each and every trade. I might do a dressing gown series. Every time you see me in this dressing gown, you know what time it is. I'm about to complete my live challenge. That's what I might do. So yeah, who knows? Um, I am going to keep you guys updated, and I'm gonna run through the journey from scratch. And I'm also got plans for other videos that are coming out. So keep locked in, like, comment, and subscribe if you've made it this far. Um, I appreciate you, and yeah, let's see what 2023 brings. So yeah.